Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, when did I start feeling older than I look? Or maybe you caught yourself forgetting why you walked into a room, or felt your spark dim just a little bit. It happens to all of us. Aging is natural, but feeling old? That's something we can work on. Because believe it or not, staying young in your heart and mind has much more to do with your mental habits than your birthday candles. After 60, life changes. Maybe the kids are grown and gone. Maybe you're retired or slowing down a bit. The house might feel quieter. The days stretch a little longer. And that can feel peaceful or it can feel empty. The truth is, staying youthful isn't about trying to be 20 again. It's about keeping your spirit light, your brain sharp, and your heart open. It's about living fully, not just passing time. In this video, we're going to gently explore 5 simple mental habits that can help you feel more alive, more engaged, and yes, more youthful, well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. These are things anyone can do, starting right where you are, with what you already have. And the best part? They're not just good for your brain, they're good for your soul. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Staying curious. You might be thinking, curious? At my age. But here's the thing. Curiosity isn't just for kids and students. In fact, curiosity might be the most underrated key to staying mentally young. It's what keeps your brain active, your conversations interesting, and your days from feeling all the same. You don't have to take up skydiving or learn quantum physics. Staying curious can be as simple as asking questions, trying something new, or even just wonder why the sky looks a little different today. Maybe you pick up a new book from a genre you've never read. Maybe you ask your grandchild about a new app or trend. Maybe you try cooking a dish from a country you've never visited. These little moments of wonder, of asking, learning, exploring, keep your brain flexible and fresh. They help you stay connected to the world instead of drifting away from it. You see, when we stop being curious, we start shrinking inside. We stick to the same routines, the same conversations, the same shows on TV. Days start blending together. But when you wake up with even a small sense of what can I learn today, it brings color back into your life. Your brain loves it. Your spirit loves it. And slowly you start feeling more alive because you're engaged again. Now, hand in hand with curiosity comes the next habit, choosing gratitude. I know you probably heard it before. Be grateful, but this isn't just about being polite or counting blessings once a year. It's about training your mind every single day to notice what's good, even when life feels slow or aches creep in or the news feels heavy. Gratitude is like a pair of glasses. Put them on, and suddenly you see your life more clearly. The way the sunlight hits your favorite chair, the taste of a warm cup of tea, the memory of a friend's laughter, a photo on the wall that reminds you who you've been and who you still are. These moments, they're not flashy, but they are powerful. They anchor you. They shift your focus from what's missing to what's here. When you get into the habit of noticing the small joys, your whole outlook changes. Your brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. Your heart softens. Your conversations brighten. You feel less bitter, less anxious, less lonely. And slowly, you start radiating that warm, grounded energy that makes people want to be around you. That's the kind of youth no cream or vitamin can give you. You don't need a journal or a formal routine. Just pause once or twice a day and gently ask yourself, what's something I'm grateful for right now? It might be something deep, like the love of your family, or something small, like the comfort of your favorite sweater. Whatever it is, name it, feel it, let it sink in. That's how gratitude becomes a way of thinking, not just a momentary thought. And here's the beautiful part. Gratitude and curiosity feed each other. The more curious you are, the more you discover new things to be grateful for. The more grateful you are, the more open you become to exploring what else life has to offer. Together, they create a cycle of youthfulness, not in years, but in mindset. Now that we've opened the door with these first 2 powerful shifts, staying curious and living with gratitude, let's move forward and keep this momentum going. Because feeling young again isn't about chasing your past. It's about embracing the present with open eyes and an open heart. When you open your eyes each morning with curiosity and carry gratitude in your heart, you've already taken two powerful steps towards staying mentally young. But there's more to it. Another habit that quietly transforms how you feel is the way you talk to yourself. Think back to a time when a negative thought crept in. Maybe you thought, I can't do this anymore, or I'm too old for that. It's so easy for those thoughts to creep in, especially when we start noticing the changes that come with age. But here's the gentle reminder. The conversation you have with yourself is one of the most influential forces in your life. Imagine if, instead of berating yourself for feeling tired or frustrated, you started speaking kindly to yourself as you would to a dear friend. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not as sharp as I used to be, try replacing that with, I may be changing, but I have a lifetime of experience, and every day brings a new chance to learn. Over time, this small shift in your inner dialogue can have a remarkable effect. It transforms the way you perceive your abilities and opens you up to the possibility that every day holds a fresh opportunity for growth, even when you're over 60. Positive self-talk nurtures a resilience that protects you from stress and anxiety. Stress, as we all know, isn't just an emotional challenge. It can weigh on our minds and bodies. When you choose to be your own cheerleader, to acknowledge your accomplishments, and even to embrace the lessons learned from mistakes, you create a mental environment where hope and possibility flourish. That's not about ignoring difficulties. It's about reframing them. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I've overcome challenges before, and I have the wisdom to handle what comes next. And that kind of encouragement resonates deep within, helping you feel more confident and inspired every day. Another important mental habit is cultivating mindfulness, being fully present in the moment. It's easy to let our minds wander to the past or worry about the future, especially when we have many memories to treasure and uncertainties to face. But when you practice mindfulness, you bring your attention to the here and now, where life actually unfolds. Imagine sitting quietly and noticing the sound of your breath, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or the gentle hum of the world outside. These moments of mindful awareness are like small resets for your brain. They help clear away the clutter of worrying thoughts and allow you to experience life more vividly and with greater calm. Mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation or sitting perfectly still. Although if you enjoy that, it can be a wonderful practice. It can also be as simple as savoring the taste of your morning coffee without distractions, or taking a few deep breaths before you answer a phone call. When you ground yourself in the present, you're less likely to get caught up in regrets or anxieties. Instead, you build a space of inner peace where you can feel renewed, even on challenging days. And that peace, that clarity, is a powerful ingredient for staying young at heart. Now, there's one more mental habit that ties these ideas together, a habit that encourages you to continuously learn and adapt. It's the belief that you're never finished growing, no matter your age. In our youth, we're often told that learning stops when we finish school, but that's simply not true. The Japanese have long embraced the idea of lifelong learning, not just through formal education, but through everyday experiences. They take joy in discovering something new every day, whether it's a small fact about nature or a new technique in their favorite craft. This mindset of continuous learning fuels creativity and keeps the mind agile. When you approach life with an openness to new ideas, when you allow yourself to learn from every experience, you build mental flexibility. And that flexibility is key to adapting to the changes that come with age. Perhaps you take up a new hobby, like learning to use a tablet or try your hand at calligraphy. Even if it feels challenging at first, know that each new skill you learn is a gift to yourself, a way to keep your brain active and engaged. This isn't about trying to be a technophile or a Renaissance person overnight. It's about welcoming small challenges that stretch your mind in delightful ways. Every time you learn something new, you're telling your brain that it's capable, that it's still evolving, and that in itself is a powerful antidote to the feeling of getting old. Embrace the idea that each day holds an opportunity to learn, laugh, and grow. Whether it's through reading, conversing with someone who has a different perspective, or even exploring a new recipe in the kitchen, let curiosity and learning become a natural part of your day. When you combine a nurturing inner dialogue, a commitment to mindfulness, and a spirit of lifelong learning, you're building a resilient, vibrant mindset that can truly keep you young, no matter what your birth certificate says. These mental habits, practiced day in and day out, create an environment where stress is softened, challenges become opportunities, and each morning brings a promise of discovery. As you think about these practices, speaking kindly to yourself, staying present, and continually learning, imagine the effect they can have on your overall well-being. A mind that is nurtured is a mind that can face whatever life brings with grace and optimism. It isn't about denying the realities of aging. It's about enhancing every day with wisdom and warmth. And when you cultivate these habits, you may find that your relationships, too, begin to transform. You'll notice that you're more patient, more compassionate, and even more engaged with those you love. Your conversations will have a lighter, more hopeful tone. Your smile might come easier. And isn't that what staying young at heart is really all about? Let's take these thoughts and carry them with us as we continue to explore even more ways to support a youthful mindset in our next steps. Together, these mental habits create a powerful foundation for living well, not just adding years, but making those years full of life, joy, and purpose. There's something quietly powerful about waking up each day with the sense that you're still becoming, not finished, not stuck, but unfolding, like a flower opening a little more with every sunrise. And as we've seen, nurturing that kind of mindset through kindness to yourself, mindfulness, and lifelong learning makes all the difference in how vibrant you feel. But there's one more mental habit that truly brings all the others together, and that's staying connected, not just socially, but emotionally and spiritually, too. After 60, it's not uncommon to feel like the world has started to move on without you. Maybe your kids are busy with their own families. Maybe you retire from a job that used to fill your days. The house might be quieter, the routine simpler, and that silence, while peaceful at times, can also bring moments of loneliness. But here's the truth. Human connection is a lifeline, not just for the heart, but for the mind. Staying mentally young means staying engaged with people, with community, with the world around you. It doesn't have to mean hosting big gatherings or filling your calendar with appointments. Sometimes it's as simple as making space for meaningful conversations, chatting with a neighbor on your morning walk, calling an old friend just to hear their voice, or even joining a local club or class where you can meet others with shared interests. When you engage with others, your brain lights up. You're not just exchanging words. You're exchanging energy, stories, perspective, and that keeps your mind fresh, curious, and alive. There's something special about having someone to laugh with, or someone who listens when you need to talk. Connection nourishes your sense of purpose. It reminds you that you still matter, that your thoughts, your memories, your voice still bring value into the world. And if you're ever unsure where to begin, just start by reaching out. You'd be surprised how many others are craving that same sense of connection. Sometimes all it takes is a smile or a simple "how are you?" to spark something meaningful. Now, if connecting with others feeds your social soul, then connecting with yourself, deeply and quietly, feeds your spiritual one. That brings us to the final mental habit, spending time in reflection and stillness. Life moves quickly, and even in retirement or slower-paced days, our minds can remain busy. But when we pause, truly pause, we give ourselves space to process, to appreciate, to just be. And in that stillness, we often rediscover our inner wisdom. Reflection can look different for everyone. Maybe it's sitting by the window with a warm cup of tea, thinking about a cherished memory. Maybe it's writing in a journal, even just a few lines each night about what you noticed or felt that day. Maybe it's simply sitting in silence, allowing your thoughts to rise and fall without judgment. These small, quiet moments help you stay in tune with yourself. They remind you of who you are, of how far you've come, and of what still makes your heart feel full. As we age, we naturally gain more time for reflection, but we don't always give ourselves permission to embrace it. We might be used to productivity and movement, to always doing. But in stillness, we discover that we don't have to do anything to be valuable. Your presence alone, your insight, your love, your gentle spirit is enough. And when you allow yourself space to simply exist without pressure, you nourish a deep sense of peace that keeps your mind steady and your heart young. What's remarkable is how all these habits work together. Gratitude opens your eyes to beauty. Curiosity invites new experiences. Self-kindness builds resilience. Mindfulness brings clarity. Lifelong learning sparks growth. Connection strengthens your heart. And reflection helps you come home to yourself. These aren't separate steps. They're part of a rhythm. A gentle, joyful rhythm of staying engaged with life, no matter your age. The beauty of it is that you don't have to change your whole life overnight. You don't need a plan or a checklist. You simply start where you are. Maybe today, you notice one thing you're thankful for. Maybe tomorrow, you greet yourself in the mirror with a kind word instead of a critique. Maybe next week, you call someone just to say hello. It's in these little actions, repeated over time, that real change happens. That's how you stay young. Not by chasing youth, but by embracing life with an open mind and an open heart. You've already walked through so many seasons of life, through challenges and celebrations, losses and victories. Every wrinkle, every silver strand of hair is a mark of a life well lived. But the story isn't over. There are still pages to be written, memories to be made, laughter to be shared. And these mental habits are your tools, your gentle guideposts, to keep walking with energy, joy, and a sense of wonder. So as you go about your day, remember this. You are not defined by your age, but by the spirit you bring into each moment. Staying mentally young is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming even more of who you already are. Wiser, kinder, freer, more alive than ever. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Have any of these habits already been a part of your life? Or is there one you'd like to try starting today? Let's keep the conversation going in the comment below. I read every message, and your stories inspire me more than you know. If this video brought you comfort, encouragement, or even just a small smile, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. There's so much more we can explore together. Ways to live fully, to age gracefully, and to keep that spark of youth alive no matter how many candles are on your birthday cake. Until next time, take care of yourself. Be gentle. Stay curious. Stay grateful. And remember, you're not getting older. You're getting wiser, braver, and more beautifully alive with each passing day. Here's to living your best life at every age.